Should you pay off debt or invest? This is probably the most common question I get from higher earners specifically. And most people approach it completely backwards because they think it's only a math question. Now, sometimes it could be a math question, but there's more to it because honestly, it's mostly a stability question, in my opinion. And once you understand the framework I'm going to show you in this video, the answer becomes way more obvious. My name's Chris, and I've worked in corporate finance for almost 15 years now. I paid off $43,000 of debt and built a multiple six-figure net worth. And one of the biggest mistakes I made early on was trying to optimize investing before I had a stable financial foundation underneath me. So in this video, I'm going to show you the simple framework I use to decide when money should go towards debt, when money should go towards investing, and why most high earners feel stuck trying to do both at the same time. And let me know down below in the comments right now if that is you right now. If you have debt and you're also trying to invest and you don't know which one to prioritize, let me know. So most high earners think about it like this. Okay, my debt interest is 7% and the stock market average is 10%, just use as an example. So yes, mathematically, I understand that conversation. That makes a ton of sense. But real life isn't a spreadsheet, even though I am a spreadsheet nerd myself. I love spreadsheets because if investing every month causes you to constantly stress about cash flow, swipe credit cards during emergencies, you don't have the cash for it, pulling money back out, you're investing in the first of the month and then you're pulling it back out on the 24th of the month when something happens, or you just feel broke at the end of every month, even though you make way too much to be this broke, then the math doesn't really matter. So here's a super common example. Let's say someone makes $140,000 a year, right? That sounds amazing on paper. But they also have $18,000 in credit card debt. They have a $700 car payment. There's basically no emergency fund. Like they're fully living paycheck to paycheck. And they're just trying to invest $1,000 a month because they know that they should, air quotes, right? Because everyone on the internet says, oh my God, invest. And yes, eventually, right? Eventually, we absolutely should, but we have to do this first. But if that same person has an emergency come up, like a car repair, medical bill, house stuff, random life things come up, and now they're putting all those expenses back onto the credit cards, that's the cycle we're trying to break. So what I see all the time is that, yes, people have these auto investing or auto debt payoffs in the beginning of the month, but then the end of the month comes and they don't have any cash flow. So if an emergency comes, instead of pulling the money back out of those things, they have to go into debt more. And it's this like seesaw battle, like you're making progress, and then one bad month hits and it just completely derails everything and you have to go back to the start. It's kind of like a video game, right? You didn't make it to the checkpoint yet and you have to go back to the start of the level. So if you feel like your life right now in your personal finances is a video game and you can't get to that next checkpoint, I've opened up some spots recently in my 6-week money challenge where not only am I going to help you build a system that works for your life so you can build consistent, repeatable progress every single month, but we're also going to be trying to find hidden money in your finances over those 6 weeks. It's kind of like a sprinty thing to see how much can you save. That way, it's like a card that you can pull out of your back pocket. So, if you need to do it, when you have the capacity to do, $1,000, sometimes it's even more. The results in the 6-week challenge have been incredible. So if you're interested, check out the link below this video to book a call and get more information, and we can have a chat and see if you're a fit. The next part of this is you have to ask yourself, what problem are you solving with your money? So instead of asking like, which one earns me the most money or which one is the most beneficial financially, I want you to start thinking, what problem does my money need to solve right now? It kind of shifts it a little bit, right? Instead of thinking like, oh, I need to do this because it's more valuable, right? Because different stages require different priorities. So let's say in scenario 1, you have unstable cash flow. So let's say there's $12,000 in credit card debt at 24%. That's a high interest rate. There's only $1,000 in savings and every month just feels tight again. You're living that paycheck to paycheck life. In this situation, your biggest problem is not to start thinking about building wealth. It's not. So if you suddenly, get a tax refund or a bonus or an extra $500 a month, I would personally focus heavily on building up the emergency reserves, reducing the high interest debt, improving the monthly cash flow. Because every dollar, reducing that debt immediately improves your financial pressure, right? Imagine if you stopped owing money to other people and you could just owe money to your future self. That would be amazing. That would be way more valuable. But it's this seesaw battle of trying to do both at the same time and making less progress with one of them than, less progress with both of them than if you were to do kind of one, focus on one. And now scenario 2 here, let's say you have that stable foundation. Let's flip it, right? And let's say you have no credit card debt. You have that 6-month emergency fund. You have manageable monthly expenses and extra cash flow each month. Now the problem is, how do I grow wealth long term? And that's where investing becomes way more valuable, because you can leave the money alone. Like, you can leave the stability part alone. You're set. You have a little cushion here. And that's where compounding actually works, because you can stick with it. You're not going to be scared that you need, extra money this month, and so you don't invest, or, maybe the stock market crashes and you lose, your investments go down and you're like, oh my God, I need to pull out because I don't know if this is even worth it anymore. Like, all those things just go away. And again, I'm speaking from personal experience, going through my journey of paying off all that debt to building all this wealth. Like, I understand this. That's why I can speak to this. Section number 3, and this is the middle ground that most high earners need, if I'm being completely honest, because this is the important part. Most people are not fully one or the other, meaning those two scenarios that we talked about earlier, like the instability and the stability. It's not binary. It's not I'm this or this. It's most people are just kind of in the middle, and of course it kind of fluctuates month over month, right? That's where like you're kind of moving through. Like, some months you might feel a little more unstable, other months you might feel a lot more stable. Most people are in that messy middle, and honestly, it is where most high earners live. So here's a realistic example. Let's say someone has $8,000 in credit card debt. They have a 401k employer match, right? So maybe you work at a good company where the company is matching your 401k. You have a decent income, but still inconsistent cash flow at the end of every month, right? So personally, what I would probably do is, still keep that employer match. A lot of people call it free money, okay? Aggressively attack the high interest debt, build up that small emergency buffer, even if it's not 6 months right away. Just start with something so that there is a buffer for you, and just simplify spending. Narrow it down to, am I spending money on things that matter to me the most? That's the most simple way that I can think through this. And that's kind of the stuff that we're going to be talking about in that 6-week challenge. That's what I help people do. And why would I do those things? Well, employer match is incredible. And after that, the high interest debt becomes the emergency, because that's the biggest problem here, especially if the interest rate's 18, 22, 28%. Even if you were to do the math on that, there's not many people who could outperform that 18, 22, 28% in the stock market. There's not many people that could do it. So it's probably not worth trying unless you want to spend like decades trying to do this. Only, a super top percent of the people are able to do that, because to me, that's like financial quicksand, right? And if you were to compare those interest rates to maybe like a 3 or 4 or 5% interest rate, or low interest rate student loans, like, that's a very different conversation. Now we're getting into the zone of like, okay, what's more valuable to me? But if you have that high interest debt, that's the thing that we have to get rid of. And number 4 here, the real goal that nobody talks about isn't pay off debt immediately. I think there's these two, I hate the conversations online about this, where it's like there's one side where it's like, oh my God, pay off all your debt immediately. And then there's other people that are like, oh my God, invest every dollar possible immediately. And it's so hard to be like, well, what should I be doing? Because the goal is creating enough stability that investing becomes automatic and sustainable. So this isn't a question of which one should I do. It's knowing that investing is more valuable. I would say most people probably think that investing their money is more valuable than being in debt and paying that money towards other people. So how do we build up the stability enough so that investing becomes something that we can continue doing month over month over month? And that's where compound happens. And it's not just the money. We all talk about the money compounding, but not enough people are talking about the underlying skills and, dedication and discipline that it takes to do that over a long period of time. Those are the things that compounds, that are able to have our money compound. Like, it's not just having our money compound, it's the foundation underneath that. And investing really only works when you're not constantly interrupted financially, right? You're not panicking, you're not pulling money back out, you're not restarting every few months, you're not doing the seesaw battle. Consistency matters more than intensity. So if you're trying to figure out whether you should focus on debt or investing first, I would personally stop asking yourself, what's going to get me the highest return on my money? Because there's always more to it than that. And I would start asking, what creates the strongest financial foundation for me right now? So this is where we have to be honest about where we currently are with our money. And that can be hard to look at ourselves in the mirror because we all want the fun, sexy thing. We all want to be putting our money towards, valuable assets, right? But we have to be very, very honest, because once your cash flow becomes stable, wealth building gets dramatically easier. And if you want to start your journey to building a little more wealth, building that stability, make sure to check out the link below this video for the 6-week challenge, where we're going to be building or improving your current personal money system that you've already got. And we're going to be looking for ways to improve that so you can build it up consistently, get rid of these seesaw months. We want consistent, intentional forward progress months every single time. And, oh, by the way, trying to save as much money as humanly possible in those 6 weeks so that you know that you have the capacity to do that whenever you want to or need to. So you can check out the link below or just watch this video where there's more information.